After 30 years, a cold case in Susquehanna County is now closed. 2 years after being charged, former Montrose police officer John Walker entered a plea to the death of his estranged wife back in 1983. Eyewitness News reporter Eric Dable spoke with the victim's family and friends today, and he is now live in our Scranton newsroom with more. Eric?
Drew, good evening. Back in 1983, Lynda Walker died from a single gunshot wound to the chest. Her death was originally called a suicide. But back in 2010, the State Attorney General's office looked back into this case. They exhumed her body and ultimately brought criminal charges back in 2012. John Walker pleaded no contest to one of those counts yesterday.
It's beautiful. Her birthday was this week. She would have been 55.
Sitting inside her New Milford home, Norma Conrad has a little bit of closure. Former Montrose police officer John Walker pleaded no contest Thursday to voluntary manslaughter for the death of her daughter, Lynda Conrad, in 1983. He was immediately sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison.
And I want to thank everybody who's involved in this case, and I want to thank them in some way. I'm not sure how I can do it, but they've all stayed by me and stayed with it all these years.
John Walker was Lynda's estranged husband. Lynda's childhood friend, Kathy Dunlap, wished there had been a trial.
I want to look at him right in his eye and say, why did you do it? Why did you do it? And 2 to 4 years, it's nothing compared to what we've all gone through the last 30 years.
Having already served 16 months in prison, Dunlap is angry that Walker could possibly be eligible parole by the end of this year.
It's not fair. I mean, he's been able to have children, do things, just live life, and this has all been taken away from her.
For Norma Conrad, she would have liked to have heard Walker say, "I'm guilty." But the no contest plea means he doesn't admit guilt, but admits there is enough evidence against him. A religious woman, she says his true judgment won't come on this earth.
There's a judge higher than an authority on earth, and he's had to live with that, and he will continue to live with that.
John Walker was initially charged with first-degree murder back in 2012. If he was convicted at trial, he could have faced the rest of his life in prison. Besides his 2 to 4 year sentence when he's released, he'll also